I'm going to go on. I have 12 o'clock right on the dot. So I am going to go on and call our NAACP September 2021 monthly meeting in session. Do we have our religious affairs chair on the line? Reverend Brown, are you on the line? No. Is Mr. Jones on the line?
President Ron Wiley, may I open up with prayer, please?
Yes, sir. Please do so.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, thank you for allowing us to come together today to carry out some very important business. We know that none of this can be accomplished without you. We know we need your loving grace amongst us to allow us to be on one accord and to move forward. We thank you for allowing us to gather today. We thank you for this terrific group assembled to carry out one of your major goals. We ask that you be with us as we go through these proceedings today, and we realize all things come from heaven above. Just in all things we ask in your name. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Mr. Wiley, for that prayer. As I said before, we will follow the agenda as written. I hope everyone received their agenda this morning from Bianca. But we do have special presentations from the Pueblo City Council candidates, and we're excited to have them. I gave invites to all the candidates, and we received responses back from about half of them. So we have 4 for this month, and then we'll have 4 next month. But we do want to get started with the presentations. I'm going to give each candidate about 5 to 7 minutes, no longer, to just briefly summarize whatever they want to let us know about their campaign and why they're running. We do want to thank them for choosing to run. We know that it's a hard task being in politics and serving our community. So we thank them for their commitment to doing that. So first we will have Brandon Martin, who is running for District 4. So I'm gonna give it to Brandon, and I'm gonna put myself on mute.
Thank you, Roxana. I do appreciate all of you guys allowing me to squeeze in this week. I originally was supposed to speak next month. However, I have some work things coming up. So Roxana was really nice and moved some things around in order for me to get there. But I did want to kind of just give a little background about myself. For those of you that do not know me, my name is Brandon Martin. I am a native of Pueblo. My father is Captain James Martin in the police department. I'm not sure if you guys are aware of who he is, but he is currently the captain of the internal affairs. And so those values of accountability and honor and such have kind of been instilled in me since I was a kid, since and both of my parents were veterans and my dad's been a police officer my entire life. So growing up here in Pueblo, I have always kind of heard how city council really hasn't gotten a lot of things moving. And I kind of see how that's been exemplified by us getting a mayor. We wouldn't have gotten a mayor if things were kind of going in the direction that we were hoping them to go. And so when it comes to me running, one of the main reasons why I'm running is kind of just to help Pueblo give back to Puebloans. One of probably the number one point of my platform currently is going to be the public transit system. I'm a huge advocate, and I think that right now currently buses don't show up, they show up late, they're understaffed, they're over 30 years old, they're breaking down, et cetera, et cetera. And so I really do think that we need to totally restructure that I would love to see a county countywide system, if we can get the county government to work with us as well. But I really would love to see anybody in this town, please bear with me. But anybody in this town have access to anywhere. It makes no sense to me that people can't take the bus to the reservoir to enjoy time with their family there, or that they can't even take it to a city council meeting because the buses stop at 6 o'clock and meetings start at 7. As well as that, I really do believe in revitalizing the area. I believe that there's been a lot of places around Pueblo that have been neglected. I do kind of feel like when it comes to downtown, that for quite some time, we just kind of threw money at the wall of downtown, just kind of hope that it stuck with projects and things. And I really do think that we need to start taking that focus and spread it around our community into areas that are growing or have been neglected for quite some time, like in the Bessemer community, all the empty buildings on Northern. Not only do those create safety hazards for firefighters and things like that, the Albany that just burned down, and that's an example of the revitalization that should have happened. But my platform is based around Pueblo giving back to Puebloans. And I would love to see us in different ways, incentivizing local business owners, minority business owners, the same way that we incentivize other businesses to move into Pueblo. So yeah, I really didn't have too much I really kind of wanted to say today. I just wanted to let you guys know that my values are my own. And although this last year and a half has been extremely difficult in many different ways, I do believe that currently we are on the right path with all the focus that has been brought on to a lot of issues recently. And I'm an advocate for those who have been neglected. And so I just wanted to let you guys know that, and thank you everyone for allowing me to come and speak today. I'm happy to take questions from anybody. And if not, then please feel free to reach out to me. My email is 2021brandonmartin@gmail.com. My website is martinforpueblo.com. Feel free to send me a message and I'll get back to anybody.
Okay, thank you, Brandon. My phone went out at the end, so but I did get the majority of your presentation. And again, we thank you for stepping up and running. And I had one question, since you got finished just a minute or so early. I know you said you were looking at giving back to Pueblo and the transit system and the revitalizing. How my issue is, I know it seems that we have a problem working together with different people, the city council, the mayor, all the members of city council. How will you ensure that you're able to work with everyone in moving us forward?
Well, what I would like to say about that is I feel like, especially recently, it is so often that we see that in politics, it's one-sided and that people refuse to meet in the middle. And in my opinion, it's not like the fact that city council is the boss of the mayor is in charge of the city council, whatever. County commissioners can fit into that mix wherever you want. Realistically, it all comes down to the people. And we are all accountable, or I guess we would be all accountable to you guys. And so I think that when it comes to communicating and driving forward, that it really does take sitting down with all these different community members, all these different people that work in the specific areas that require specific questions like houselessness and homelessness and all this other things, and bring them together. And that's how you can make more educated, confident decisions compared to just kind of one person wanting it their way, the other one wanted their way. I believe in community discussion and figuring out the actual route and diving into there.
Okay, well, thank you, Brandon, for that. Okay. Next we will have Mr. Wow. Yes, sir.
Had a request for Brandon. Brandon,
Yes.
could you put your information in the chat box for us, please?
Of course I can. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Eric. I don't know how to raise my hand, so I apologize. Brandon, I think you're a great candidate, and I think there's a lot of good candidates. I think what you may face, unfortunately, is the philosophy, we don't do that in Pueblo, or we don't do things that way. Are you feel confident you can overcome that obstruction based upon tradition and reluctance to accept new concepts? And what would be some of your ideas, like outreach and things like that? Thank you.
I'm sorry, I was typing out my information.
Do you wish me to restate the question?
Yes, please.
Okay, yes. As you well are aware, I'm also in city government, and I've noticed a certain reluctance to accept new concepts or, in new ways. You run across a lot of people saying, oh, we don't do that in Pueblo, or we don't do that way. So if you're going to bring new concepts, and you have to be ready to feel that, to deal with that kind of obstruction behavior and reaching out to the public, perhaps outreach and things like that. Do you have any plans along those lines? Oh, easy question, right?
Yeah. So first thing I'd like to say is I believe that a lot of the people in Pueblo are seeing currently how not changing the status quo, or keeping the status quo, I should say, it hasn't helped us at all. We're at a transition point in our community. And I really do think that me, Dwayne, other like-minded candidates have a vision that really can help progress us forward. And I think that when it comes down to people fighting against change, it comes down to comfort. And I think that if we can bring in, like I mentioned earlier, the people that work in these specific areas, and we show the community that this is whatever the project is, that if it's come to on an educational and statistical standpoint, and the community can agree on it, that it's okay to change things and to progress forward. I think that especially here in Pueblo, it's far too often that decisions are made without the public's insight. And I think that that's kind of created a culture that is resistant to change. And I do think that if we just bring in those people, it'll really help, I guess, show that it's okay to move forward.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Brandon. We're going to go on to, and before we go, I would like all the candidates, if you can, put your information in the chat. So for those that would like to contact you at a later date, may do so. Now we'll have Dwayne Nava. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Yes, ma'am.
He's running for the at-large seat. So I'm going to give it to you, Dwayne.
Hi. Thank you, Roxanne. I appreciate it. And thank you all for the opportunity to be able to speak to you guys today. Again, my name is Dwayne Nava. I'm running for City Council at large. Just a little bit about myself. I was born and raised in Pueblo. I spent my entire life here. I love this community. And I graduated from Central High School, earned my bachelor's degree through University of Southern Colorado, CSUP, my master's degree through University of Phoenix, and my coursework for my master's in educational counseling and special education through Adams State College. I spent the last 17 years in education and currently work for Health Solutions in mental health and behavioral health field as the director of support services. Everybody asks, why are you running? Because everybody thinks it's you're crazy to do this. But I spent my entire career chasing titles, chasing money, and trying to just do well, right? And I've always been redirected at service. And I always get pushed back to, you need to serve people. And I fight it. And I'm like, no, but I gotta make more money, or I need the next position higher. So I chase this thing. And again, I always get redirected of, no, you need to be helping people. So I've come to the realization that I need to quit fighting it and just do what I'm supposed to be doing in this world. And if I do good work, I'll do well, right? It's time to start doing good work, and I'll do well because of that. I really want to do what's best for this city. And they talk about platforms and what's your platform, why you run, what are you running on? it's city government. So we're only responsible for certain things, right? City safety, you know, fire department, the police department, infrastructure, you know, those types of things. So everybody's platform is pretty much the same. What's different is I want to make sure that community, and I know a lot of people are saying, you know, the same thing, is we got to give community a voice. We got to get back to asking people what their needs are. And, you know, it feels like in Pueblo, and it's probably bigger than Pueblo, it's probably, you know, nationwide with every single race, is we get out in public, we knock doors, we talk to people, we get elected, and then you don't hear from anybody for 4 years until it's time to rerun. So how do we provide those opportunities to engage our community every single day of what are your needs? If I'm willing to knock on your door and ask you to put a sign on the corner, why aren't I willing to knock on your door to make sure that we're doing a good job, or to make sure that there's nothing that we need to do to help? So I've been doing office hours once a week where I just set up at a local small business and I'm just accessible to people. I put it out there on social media. I put the word out there as much as I can. It's like, I'm going to be here from 7 to 8 a.m. or from 5 to 6 p.m. Please come bring me the ideas, because 7 city council members don't have all the answers. But I can tell you in the month that I've been involved with this, I cannot tell you how many wonderful, amazing ideas have been brought to my attention by our citizens of this city. So why aren't we asking for those ideas? You know, we got questions this week from the Human Relations Commission around transit, around affordable housing, and one was about education and workforce development. And you know, I've been in education, so I got that part. You know, I can answer that, but I'm not the expert in transit. I'm not the expert in housing. So you know what I did? I called the people that are. And I said, I need 15 minutes of your time to talk about transit. I need 15 minutes of your time to talk about housing. And you know what I found out during those meetings is not one person in our city government has ever reached out and asked the questions. Why? Why do we silo ourselves instead of finding the experts, getting that information, and then figuring out how to move forward together? It seems so simple to me, but we don't do it. And I really want to bring everybody together, start collaboration, and the city really being the leading voice to figuring out how to collaborate as a community to move forward to make the city better. Kathy, you have a question for me?
Well, I was going to ask you the same question, and I really liked your presentation. We say it all the time. It seems like the problems we have, societal problems, are so overwhelming, and sometimes it just seems like you can't make a dent in them, but
Right.
you have to try.
Right.
And that's what our organization's about. You know, just trying and collaborating with other organizations, as you said, to move for the betterment of this community. So my question to you is the same as to Brandon. What changes do you want to see, and how do you see yourself working with everyone to bring about those changes that Pueblo needs?
So, you know, I've been to a lot of different meetings, you know, through education, because I worked in an at-risk school. And we would go to meetings, let's say on homelessness, at 11 o'clock at the health department. And then all of a sudden there'd be a 1 o'clock meeting at the library the same day around homelessness. It was the same meeting, 2 completely different sets of people talking about the exact same thing. So you got to figure out a way, and the city's got to be the driving force of this, is getting everybody into one room and moving one direction and putting egos completely behind. And you know, I was part of the BERT team when they first started, which was the economic recovery team during the beginning of COVID. And you know, Stephen Trujillo made a great statement at the beginning of that meeting. He said, if you are here for ego. You are here to be the person that says, we are doing it. This is the organization. Hang up the phone call, because this isn't about your organization. This is about Pueblo. So how do we get that mentality of, we may only be able to move one person or 1%, but over the course of 5 years, we've moved that needle. So even if we're barely making a little progress here today, over the course of the time frame that we're doing the work, we have to commit to it and keep moving forward. We're going to see the impact. It may take 30 years to fix it, but we got to do what's right today to start getting there and planning there. And we got to put our egos behind us and start working for the betterment of everybody in this community. And how do we get those voices that normally don't get heard, right? You know, I've spent my entire career wanting to be accepted into certain rooms, right? You know, the Greater Chamber luncheons or city council meetings. I wanted to be in those rooms and be accepted into those rooms. And you know what I figured out when I got there? There's nobody in these rooms that's smarter than me. There's nobody in these rooms that are better than me. Why was I so impressed with these rooms? You know, and I feel like, for myself at least, I felt there was a lot of times I didn't feel like I deserved to be there. And I'm there now. And I want to be the voice of the other people that think that they shouldn't be there or that they're not good enough to be there. We all have something to offer this community. We just got to start asking people those questions. There are some brilliant minds in this community. How do we get them to help move us forward?
Thank you, thank you. If there's no questions, we'll go on to
I think Kathy.
Vicente.
I think
Oh,
Kathy.
Kathy?
Yeah.
Kathy?
Yes,
Okay, go ahead, Kathy, I'm sorry.
that's okay. I have both a question and a comment. I have been, the last couple of days, because I've had to post some things I have to sell, just things I have to sell because of my brother's passing recently. But anyway, I've been reading on local neighborhood social media about human trafficking in this area. And I had no idea that it existed to this extent. And this is not hyperbole. These are people in our neighborhoods who are not only experiencing it, they're witnessing it, they're photographing it. They've taken it to the police department and there has been no action. They've taken it to city council. There is no action. And these are citizens who are not only concerned, like Dwayne said, for their own safety, but there is no action. You know, you would anticipate that folks who are citizens who are coming to authorities concerned for their own safety of themselves and their children would anticipate that law enforcement would not only take action, but be proactive, and city council be proactive. Sometimes if we're lucky, they're reactive. And this is evidence of that. So my question is, in what way are you going to be proactive rather than reactive with the community? Would you be willing to speak to citizens via social media and keeping in touch with social media? The current city council, you know, they have just as much access to this as we do, you know? And I just don't understand why there's not even, there's no reaction to this when you have folks who have video evidence of what's going on and nothing is happening. Could you please answer that?
Absolutely. And I think in our community, we are very reactive to everything, right? You know,
We're lucky.
Yeah, right now we're not talking about a homeless shelter. We'll wait until it starts snowing before we figure out, oh, wow, it's wintertime. It's, you know, 10 degrees outside. We probably should figure out what we're going to do with our homeless population. Why? Why aren't we doing that, you know, in February, the minute it stops snowing? How do we get together and start planning for the next winter as a community? We wait until there's a fire before we start making any kind of movement on that. You know, and do I think everything is perfect in the city? No, not at all. But I also don't believe that these current city council members, current anybody elected officials are waking up in the morning and saying, you know, how am I going to go do a bad job today? right? They all feel like they're trying to do what's best. But I feel like they're not asking the right questions, and they're not making this accessible to the people. I can tell you, there's a woman that is around Pueblo, and she's naked probably half the time people see her. People will post videos about her. People will post pictures about her. How did we ever get to the point where nobody is stopping to help this lady? You know, it cost my wife a jacket, and it cost us about $30 at a dollar store to clothe that woman one day, where we actually my wife had to physically dress her on the side of the highway just to prevent people from driving by and seeing that. And no one stops to help. You know, how are we there as a society that that's okay? You know, we really got to figure out a way to come together and start working together for this community. I just don't understand how people will take pictures and video of that, but they won't stop to help. You know, and we gotta empower our police department. And I said this at the fire department is I went in there saying, you know, fire and, you know, city safety is my priority. And then I went the next day and I'm like, you know what? It's not my priority. City safety is not my priority. I'm not out there fighting fires. I'm not out there fighting crime. Our job as city council is to support the people that are doing the work. So we have to support our police department. We have to support our fire department, our housing authority, or whatever entity we're working with. We have to empower them to do the job. And we have to work with them and give them the tools they need to do the work, because we can't do it.
Solution. Don't restate the problem, please.
A solution? What's that?
If you could please not restate the problem, give us your idea as to what the solution possibly could be.
No, I think we got to bring committees together and people together and start working together to find those solutions.
They always say that, bringing people together, but again, what is your plan?
I think we got to, like with the housing issue or the transit issue, we got to go to those experts. We got to start asking the questions and then figure out what is the long-term goal, right? If we were in a perfect society where there was no crime, what would that look like? And what are we going to say is acceptable, right? And then developing a plan as a community on how do we get there. So I don't have the answers. I don't have all of the answers, but there are people in this community that do. And how do we get those resources and collaborate to get to that point? You know, I don't have the answer of how we fix human trafficking, you know, but I can tell you that we got to work with our police department in order to help figure out this problem.
Robert Jones. Robert Jones.
Yes, Mr. Jones, go ahead.
Yes, I'd like to find out, is there a common question that's placed there?
If you have a question, you may ask it.
Well, what I was wondering, I unfortunately got into late, but I was wondering what the primary issue was there. I heard something about the homeless people, and then I was hearing something about the fact that we have to work together. I was thinking in terms of the homeless people, I know of two agencies that have worked on that, and as far as I know, have been having the setups to deal with the homeless people. But is that what part of the discussion here?
Yeah, no, we were just having, our candidates were doing presentations, and Dwayne was asked about the human trafficking, and he was just answering that question. And again, you know, just like he was saying, there's organizations that deal with each issue or problem that we have in the city: homelessness, human trafficking, and I think it's imperative that we reach out to those organizations that are already there and see what needs to be done, see what their help, what they need, and try to assist in that way, because that is a big issue that people don't want to talk about. But again, that's my opinion. Are there any other questions for Dwayne?
Hello, Ms. Mack. This is
Yeah.
Keith Matkins. I just wanted
Yes,
to express a little info with Dwayne there. I understand Kathy's concern. I'm not a big social media person, so I don't know what's going on social media right now, but Dwayne said he'd like to talk to experts, and I was just Director of Services at the Child Advocacy Center, and we're very, very concerned about trafficking and exploitation and everything. And one of the people that he might want to talk to, one of the experts, is Sergeant Mike Slattery over at Police Department with the SVU unit. There's a Greg Slater with CBI. He's working on this. So I agree with you that we do have great people in the city already working on this. Again, I don't know what's happening on social media, but I know there are great teams of people here working on this issue already. And there's a multidisciplinary team here in Pueblo that includes the DA's office and everyone that is involved with this. So if you are talking to experts, that might be a couple of good people to start talking to. Greg Slater with CBI is just a great resource. And Mike Slattery and his team of folks, detectives on PD are great. And there's some people at SO as well. So I don't think it's being ignored. I don't think it's being overtaking the city. I think we're working behind the scenes and we're doing a lot more than the public knows. And maybe Mr. Nava can kind of contact those people and see what's going on.
I appreciate that.
And you can let him know that Keith Matkins referred you, Mike Slattery with PD.
Keith, thank you so much for that. I appreciate that.
You got it.
And that's a lot of times that's the issue of the communications. People are working on a lot of issues, but we just don't know. And we think the issue is not being addressed. So thank you for that information, Mr. Maddox. Next, we have Vicente. Is Vicente on the line?
I'm here, Ms. Mack.
Okay. I'm going to give the floor to you now.
Great, thank you. And it's
Vicente, can you increase your volume? I'm not hearing you very well.
Can anybody hear me? No, not really. Here, let me get my phone and I'll call in.
Okay, while he's doing that, is Lucretia Robinson? Is she on the line? Okay. Okay. Are you there, Vicente, are you there? Are you ready now? Okay, there you go.
Can you all hear me now?
Yes,
You still can't? You can't?
I can hear you.
Now? Okay, great.
I can't hear.
Okay.
I'll call in. I'll call the phone number.
Okay. While Vicente is getting prepared, I would also like to extend the invitation of membership to both Mr. Nava and Mr. Martin with NAACP. We're working in conjunction with other organizations for the betterment of this community. And we would love for you to be a part of our organization to move forward the Pueblo community. Vicente, you ready? I can hear you. What we will do is just move on to our membership through the agenda. And once Vicente is ready, we will plug him in, if that's okay. Okay. So we're next on the agenda is the meeting minutes from August meeting. You can find those online. Just go to the website. I'm not sure if our secretary is on the call to go over those minutes. Okay. So we will forego the minutes and you can just review those online. Next, we have our financial report. So Madam Treasurer online. Dr. Peterkin online. Okay, well, I know the report was sent out to the officers and the executive committee. So if Ms. Peterkin gets on the line later, we will go over the report. If not, we will resend it until next meeting.
Miss Mack?
Yes.
This
Okay.
is Vicente.
Okay, I can hear you, Vicente.
I
So
had to
go
call
ahead.
in. I'm so sorry. Thank you so much.
Oh, that's okay. Go ahead with your presentation.
You know, I was thinking about it today. I was thinking about Miss Javanow. I'm so sorry for your loss. I'm very sorry for that. You know, I was thinking about it earlier and how my my involvement with the NAACP in the last years has been very interesting, incredibly valuable, and helping shape my values also. You know, reshaping them as we've all worked together and organized together. And I was thinking about it. I mean, we've been through the passing of both of my parents together. And that is kind of a different thing, because Miss Mack, I remember you coming to me at the Baptist church and then driving to my mom's house, you know, and so I guess how I see our relationship continuing to grow is that this is my candidacy for city council is just a natural progression in our organization, in our organizing, excuse me. We're organizing, we're continuing to organize around different issues that affect our communities. And I mean, it's always our goal to move the needle, and sometimes we just don't. So I think that this is just a natural progression for all of us to take together to organize and change policy or create policy to help impact us on an equitable level. And you know, I'm not sure if I have to. I think other than Keith, I may not know very well, but everybody else here I know pretty well. I mean, shoot, we sit on foundations together. We're organizing now in political parties, and then I'm sorry, I'm thrown off with my phone being in my ear. I'm sorry. Give me some questions. I do better that way. I do better talking. I'm not like a speech giver. Any questions?
Well, Vicente, what you just said makes a lot of sense, you know, working to better Pueblo. There's a lot of issues, as you said, and you're a person that is trying to make a difference for everyone. And like we said, our organization, we represent the marginalized community, the community that is sometimes overlooked, and has to deal with most of the issues. And
Gets the
as you
brunt of
said,
most of
that's,
the issues.
yeah, get the, right, exactly. And as you said, I thought you said it eloquent enough that, you know, that's why you're running, to help those communities.
Well, yes, and part of it is to, and much like Brandon and Dwayne said, and a lot of the other folks, a lot of the other candidates, community does not feel satisfied with local government, and we need to continue to give our different communities a seat at the table. And so I'd like to review the internal policy on the accessibility of city council folks to the community. Personally, I will hold quarterly meetings in my district.
Good.
Quarterly community meetings. I worked on the same strategy with Steve Naraki's campaign for mayor. We were out in the Bessemer community. We were out on the south side, the east side, west side. We hit them all. And it takes door-to-door canvassing to generate some interest, but you get real, genuine feedback that way. And I would bring another city council person with me to check some of this stuff out, like just to really see what some of the issues are, and also what are the solutions, because the people who are closest to the affected issues have some of the best solutions. Some of the folks at the top, some of the grass top, are too far away from the systems that they govern to know how they really affect and impact folks. Does anybody have another question, Mr. Javano?
This is Ron Wiley.
Ron.
What district are you running? Are you running at large?
No, I am running for District 4, Bessemer, Bessemer, and some of the South Side area.
Okay, very good. First of all, I'd like to say, I read with a great deal of pride, admiration, and respect the recent article done on your mother, who recently received the posthumously the Spirit of Service Award for one of the largest Latina focused organization, nonprofit organization in the state. I thought the write-up was super thorough and complete. I thought the photography and your family's message were heartfelt. So again, I read it with pride and admiration because I did have an opportunity to know her and work closely with her on different projects. So that was well done. So I know you had to be proud of it also, and I just wanted to share that with you. But
I really appreciate that, Mr. Wiley. My brother, sister, and I, and that's why I think about Kathy and the loss of her brother. I mean, I was standing up there with my brother and sister last night up in Denver at the Servicios de la Raza Gala, and that services for the people. gave my mom that posthumous award for the work that she did. And, you know, and I think about it, and it's like, I mean, I'm almost 40 years old, and I've been organizing and learning from organizers for 40 years. And that award was not just for her, as I was standing up there and looking at my brother and sister as we were speaking to a huge crowd of 800, that, I mean, these are our achievements as well, because those tables and chairs didn't set themselves up, and those meetings didn't put themselves together. And so we just had to, we got a chance to really learn from the best. And my mom was a big community organizer, and my dad helped develop the Pueblo Neighborhood Health Centers, which went from 0 patients to 40,000 in the early 80s here in Pueblo within 3 years. 40,000 people they were giving health care to within 36 months. I mean, that's amazing. And so I've had the opportunity to sit on the shoulders of giants and learn, including with my mentor, Ken Williams, and just art and the public art that we do in our community to make it more beautiful and help it last. So a lot of my experience comes from learning, a lot of it learning the hard way. But I think that I've learned enough, I've taken enough bad beats so we could figure out how to get solutions to the table.
Thank you for that, Vicente. But I did have a question that I wanted to get to. And of course, as always, you know me, I like to address the elephant in the room immediately so we can move on to smaller things. It's no secret that you've been a strong advocate of removing the statue, the Columbus statue, from the plaza. My question to you, and you'll probably receive it quite often, will a part of your platform or will a focus of your candidacy be the removal of the Columbus statue?
That's a really great question. You know, I don't have it necessarily as part of my platform or on my agenda. I know the vote will come up and it'll happen, and my vote will be to take it down. I don't think that there's a place for these extremely offensive idolizations to be put up in our community and stay up. So yeah, my vote would be to take it down. That is public, and everybody knows that. But it's not on my agenda. It's not my sole focus. I mean, people are suffering harm and dying prematurely in our community, and a lot of it's based off of lack of trust of government. I mean, if we look at Bessemer and the Superfund sites, the Superfund site, which is like one of the top 5 in the nation, we have an increase of ovarian cancer with women in our community. We have high lead and arsenic in our ground. And I mean, if we as city council folks can be more available to the community and trust and gain the community's trust on a local level, then I think that's how we help mitigate some of this injury to our people. And it's not just about a statue. This whole thing is not by any means just about a statue. This is about helping our people live longer with dignity and just making some common sense solutions and getting rid of this good old boy crap.
Okay.
Sorry. Next question.
Well, thank you, Vicente. We'll take one more question. I think Eric had a question.
That will be me. Thank you.
Okay.
I'm not outspoken, I know.
Okay, go on with your question,
Okay.
and that'll be the
Okay,
last one.
I'll start off with a comment and then we'll go with the question. First of all, Vicente, I have to say that a year ago, if somebody had told me I would feel the way I do about now, about your presentation, which was very well put, very well thought out, and very fair, I would have said, no, it's not going to happen. So I'm the first one to admit when I'm wrong, to indicate when I will change my opinion. And you are becoming an impressive candidate. And I've met and talked with you personally, and I've shared with you that I really respected your mother. Now, I didn't always agree with her, but I respected her, and I
Right.
felt her loss because we've all lost somebody sometime, somewhere. And so, not going any further, that's, I just want to make that clear. Now, my question is, and I like your program. I like the fact you're broadened beyond one issue. But what's going to happen is the same thing I asked Brandon, I was going to ask Dwayne, is the big problem here, as far as I see, is the comment, we don't do that in Pueblo, or we don't try that in Pueblo, or it's too hard to do in Pueblo. And I like your approach of, the outreach, holding quarterly meetings, because we had that in California, where I voted for Republican for the first time in my life, because he went out and talked to the community in the city council.
That makes a difference.
It does make a difference.
It's really valuable.
Yeah. How are you going to approach when you run across the stone walls, as we all do, in, any kind of position of influence, where I said, no, we're going to vote, no, we don't think it's a good idea. How are you going to, what are your tactics to get around that and try to build up a consensus to pass meaningful rules and regulations for the betterment of Pueblo?
Well,
easy question, right?
Eric, yeah, that is an easy question, because I think we have outside folks like Alan in the NAACP, who works with housing development not housing development, urban development. What is it? Damn it. Alan comes from an outside community, but has great ideas. But will his ideas be heard? That's always the question. And I think that, there's experts outside of our community, and there's experts in our community. And part of being an expert in your community is knowing how to navigate that and to get those good ideas to float to the top. That's really what it is. We just have to find who has that idea that fits this solution, that'll fit the problem the best, these issues, and we just find the best solution. And we work with those little factions, the little people that you need to know to get shit done here in Pueblo. Because we can make things move fairly quickly, but we could also really hurt ourselves by not taking some of those good suggestions from outside communities. And I think we have a growing community of a lot of different types of folks that are coming into Pueblo, and a lot of them are professionals, and we can't lose their ideas. We can't have them. One of our biggest issues in Pueblo is our school system, and professionals not living in Pueblo and extracting the money, taking it up to Springs, to a bigger community where they have better education systems, and just extracting that money from our community without reinvesting and spending that here and living here, paying the property taxes, paying all those different things. And we need those folks here, just like we need their ideas here. And we just need to have the right folks in place to be able to know how to navigate that. I do think it's that simple, Eric.
Thank you, Vicente. You're making a believer out of me, which is an incredible thing in my mind, at least in mine. Thank you for that. And I appreciate your candidacy. I think you would make a great city councilman. It should have become a reality. You're one of the qualified
Great, thank you. I appreciate that, Eric, sincerely.
Okay, thank you. I want to thank all of our presenters, all of our candidates today for reaching out, responding back, and addressing our membership. We truly appreciate your input, your thoughts, and we take your time as a valuable, and your I guess, and just your presentation and what you want to do for the city. We take it very seriously. And so we just would like to thank you. Again, I'm throwing out there, I know Vicente's already a member, but we do want to invite both Brandon and Dwayne and to become members of the NAACP and help us move forward also. But thank you. If you need to get off the meeting, you may. We will resume our normal membership meeting as the agenda is printed. So we'll go to reports of officers. Oh, I'm gonna let each one of you all say goodbye too. If you need to get off the line, that's fine too. Brandon, is Brandon already gone? Is he still here? Dwayne?
Thank you all
Okay.
so much. I appreciate you letting me have the opportunity to come and speak to you today.
Thank you. Okay. Okay, oh,
Thank you, everybody. Sorry, I was typing a message, but thank you everyone for
Okay.
letting me to speak, and I'll see those of you on Tuesday that will be there.
okay, great. And also, the NAACP will be sponsoring a candidate forum on October 14th. And I think everyone has sent in their confirmation on that. So we look forward to that. The HRC is having their candidate forum on Tuesday. I think that's what Brandon was referencing, and I will definitely be there, and hopefully other members of the organization will be there also. So we look forward to hearing from you again before the election. Thank you so much. Again, we'll go on and get started with the agenda as we left off with reports from the officers. First Vice President, Ms. Helen Wiley, you have anything to report?
President Mack, I'll not right at this time. I'll report when we get down to the Freedom Fund.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Second Vice President, Mr. Alan Lamberg, you have anything to report? Alan may have got lost. He's out of town, so he may have gotten off. But my report, I just wanted to give a couple updates. I received an email from Nick Potter, who is with the Pueblo City County Library District. And as some of you know, he's had been working on the history of Black America in Pueblo. And on this coming Wednesday evening, they will have a presentation. Martin Luther King III will be giving a presentation, and they will be, that would be on Zoom. I will put the links out for everyone who would want to chime in on that. Mr. Potter did interview myself and some other folks from the NAACP, which is a part of that presentation. I think, let's see, I think the in-person is an invite only, but the presentation will be on Zoom for those who would like to hear it. And I'll get that information put on our website for everyone that would want to participate in that. I see that Alan is back.
Oh, you can hear me. You can all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
My connection must have dropped there. I've been listening. Thank you, everyone, and for the presentations with the council's candidates. I just wanted to briefly let everyone know that Laurel Campbell of the who's a board member of the Pueblo Heritage Museum. She had reached out and said that the Pueblo Heritage Museum, which is based off of B Street by the old depot there, across the street from Union Depot, they're interested in doing an exhibit for Pueblo African Americans history. And as you might know, they have a museum there, and there's these little exhibits for southeastern Colorado history. And that it centers around Pueblo as well. So they are very interested in doing an exhibit. And I mentioned it to Ray Brown, who's listening on the call today, and I would invite him to share his thoughts if he'd like to do that today as well. All right.
Okay.
That's all I have to report as second vice president. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Alan. And as I was as I was talking about Nick Potter, he did like I said, history on Pueblo African American community, and that will be is the end will be a presentation by Martin Luther King the third this coming Wednesday. So, and like I was saying, I will put this information out, have it put it on our website for those that would like to chime in on that. I think that goes along with what Alan was just saying in reference with the Historical Society. Also, I just wanted to take time to reflect on today's date, 9/11, 20 years ago, with what we had to experience, and families in the United States is still reflecting on that date. I can remember where I was when the time and everything when that situation took place. And I know a lot of you on the call probably remember what you were doing that day also. But I just wanted to take a time to reflect and remember that day. And the next thing was, if you didn't know, this month of September is Sickle Cell Awareness Month. This disease, it's a common genetic blood disease, affects African Americans more than anyone, I believe. 1 out of every 365 African Americans are born with this disease. And our national organization is going to be having a training session series, on sickle cell. They're working with the American Red Cross. And the first training will be Monday, the September 13th at 6 p.m. And I will make sure that also gets posted on our website. What's next? I did want to bring up, I wanted to propose that from the president to the membership, we need to purchase some lapel pins for all the officers and our executive committee so that we can wear these when we're out in public, going to events and different things. Also to purchase a fitted tablecloth with our logo on it for events. And lastly, I wanted to propose that we join the Pueblo Chamber of Commerce, just so we stay in the know of what's going on and that they know that we're here. And I think it would be a good partnership for our organization. So I want to put those 3 things on the table for membership to think about. And lastly, I wanted to let everyone know that starting, yes, sir.
The membership to think about, or would you entertain a motion today?
Yes, I would like to entertain a motion today that we purchase pins for officers and executive committee, that we purchase a tablecloth with our logo on, and that we join the Chamber of Commerce. Can I get a second?
I'll second that, Madam President.
Okay. I will ask the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. Let me just go down the list to make sure we have everyone. I think Kathy said aye.
So did I, her husband.
Okay, Eric. Christine?
Aye.
Yes. Okay. You aye. I think there's an easier way to do this. Is Alan, oh, he's in the car, so he's not gonna be able to.
Madam President, may I just suggest that you say, anybody opposing, please speak up right now. That way, if nobody opposes, there'll be assumptions unanimous.
Right.
Amen. Okay. Are there any opposers to that? Any opposers? No opposers?
Can anyone- can you hear me?
Alan, we cannot hear you.
Okay.
I cannot understand. I can't hear you.
We can't hear you, Alan.
We can hear you, Alan. So I am going to, since there's no opposers, I will, that's an indication that the majority rules, and we will go ahead with those purchases. Thank you for everyone who made recommendations of proposing and the question. Okay. The next thing I wanted to say is that starting November, we will start our in-person meetings again. And of course, everything will depend upon, what the health department says, but we will have our in-person meeting at the Lamb Library on the Boulevard, starting November meeting. We have t-shirts that was purchased for all the membership. We'll start giving those t-shirts out at that meeting if you have not received your t-shirt as of yet. I know some folks received it at the cookout, but and I think someone asked about how to get them, and I think that's going to be the easiest way to get them to everyone. It's just bring them to the meeting. Also, I just wanted to touch on the Freedom Fund Banquet. The committee sent out over 200 invitations and all the membership should have received a invite with the registration card. I just want to take this time to encourage all of our members to, if you can, please try to attend. We tried to make the price very reasonable for a special event with Congressman Nagoose, and we think we're going to have an excellent time that night, which is October 29th, October 29th. The seats are filling up quickly, so I would encourage you to don't wait to the last minute to get your tickets. And that is all I have. Are there any questions? Yes, go ahead, Patricia.
Hi, thank you, Madam Chair. I just want to, and hello to all my NAACP colleagues and friends. I feel like it'll be wonderful to see each other in November, so I'm looking forward to that, and at the banquet as well. I do want to let you know that the Women's March rises again, and there's a national march scheduled in Washington on October 2nd. So we're going to have an event here in Pueblo, still to be determined where exactly and what time exactly, but I do want to put that on your radar. That is Saturday, October 2nd, probably in the morning. And so it kind of depends on where we can find it and how quickly we can assemble it and promote it. I know that we can promote it, but the matter of where it can be. And the concern is obviously some issues that have happened lately in Texas, not only about abortion, reproductive rights being torpedoed, but also voting rights being, at risk everywhere, certainly affects women and their families and people of all nationalities and races. So we want to stand up again. Probably it's not going to be a march. It's going to be very simple, probably a speak out of some sort. So again, October 2nd here in Pueblo. Thank you.
Thank you, Patricia. Patricia is our Women in NAACP chair, and I thank you for that announcement. Now we will go down to our committee reports. I think Alan's already made his report. We are trying to update our website with several new categories as we get announcements from community organizations. We want to establish a place to put those for people to review. Also for job announcements, we were gonna add another category for that. And just doing some updates to the website. But for those that, our website is NAACP Pueblo, NAACP.net. So you can go on to our website. Membership applications are on there. We're trying to get the updated membership application, place some on there also, as well as our Facebook page. But it's Pueblo, NAACP.net. And if there's anyone that knows how to do updates, just give me a call or email me, and I can give you access to happen us to do that. Next, we have Criminal Justice Committee. Mr. Wiley, is there anything that you need to report this?
Thank you, Madam President. The first thing is simply a comment. I want to acknowledge our IT individuals, Alan Lambert, Bianca Hicks, and all of those working with her to allow access to technology. We read our announcement for this month's meeting. We had a terrific announcement. In addition to announcing the meeting, you also had attached to that an article showing you what the NAACP had been doing during the month. It showed the president and her vice president visiting the Title I schools and giving away donating school supplies and different things to the school. I thought that was outstanding to be attached to a meeting notice. In addition to that, we had the flyer for the upcoming Freedom Fund banquet, a flyer that's very pleasing and colorful to the eye. So I just want to congratulate those responsible for that because we've come a long way. And that was indeed a pleasure to see that. Again, thank you to the IT people working hard to keep us up to date and with the social media and the technology and things. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Mr. Wiley. I also wanted to add that Bianca should get all the credit for those wonderful deliverables. I only just encourage and uplift.
Okay, but I know it takes the whole team to make things like that happen, and I was just I'm both proud and delighted to see that announcement. So again, thank you. Secondly, I read an article this morning concerning a Black couple in Massachusetts. They were at a farmer's market, has spent a substantial amount of money. They bought a bag of apples, but it was more apples than the bag could hold, and they put the extra apples into the baby carriage. Needless to say, they ended up being accused of different things, and police was called, and then you can imagine what occurred after that. I recant that. I relate that story just simply to say that we have a long way to go in this society. People judgments and personal perspective and prejudice and those things bear a heavy weight on society. And it's shameful to say that when you're getting around in this world, taking care of business, doing things, that you have to be mindful of someone's misconception that may lead to you being involved in a situation that was the last thing on your mind. We have a long way to go in this country, but that's what the NAACP is here to be a beacon of hope and to try to alleviate some of the injustices. But those are just my comments that I wanted to reflect on. From the Criminal Justice Committee, just one thing, there are 2 deputy chief vacancies with the police department. Interviews are scheduled for October the 20th, and the NAACP will be a part of that in the interview panel, and I will represent the NAACP. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Mr. Wiley. As far as the education goes, we are in communication with the CSUP as well as PCC in trying to get membership with the students, as well as the education at the school districts. It's a slow process. I know it seems the same report every month, but we are still working towards getting that in place, coordinating with the different organizations at both the colleges and at the high schools. So we're continually working to do that. Also, as mentioned down in the announcements, we are working with the DAV, Disabled Veterans Organization, to sponsor a Veterans Day program to get information out on our veterans and giving them information that they may need. So we're working, we'll continue to work. So the next chair we have is Mr. Holmes with Environmental and Climate Justice. Mr. Holmes, do you have anything to report?
Hello, everybody, and Madam President. Good to hear and see and be in the Zoom meeting today. I just have to say that Janet, my wife, works at food services at the Centennial High School, and we had the opportunity to meet with Taylor Voss. He's a D60 school board member, and she discussed school lunch issues with him, and he was very receptive. And I introduced myself as a member of NAACP and the Climate, Environmental and Justice Committee Chairman. And we spoke about several things in our town and city and county. And one of them was, of course, the nuclear power generation may replace matching number 3. And he was very receptive to any input that I can give him. And I will try to meet with him as soon as I can and begin to have a relationship with him, because he's a candidate for District 3 County Commissioner in 2022. So we have a chance to really get the jump on this, and should he become a commissioner, so that we can begin to have a good relationship with Taylor Boss. So I just wanted to bring that up, and let's see, I want to make it pretty quick because it's been quite lengthy.
Right.
Yeah, I'm trying to dig through my notes, but I have missed 2 meetings accidentally. I tell you, I'm just an old man sometimes, but I missed the Eastern time meeting, and then a Central time meeting for the amount to try to find out how we can get with the golly, it has to do with grants for air monitoring here in Pueblo. But I was lucky that 2 of my committee members did attend, and so I'm in contact with them, so I can just discuss the event with them. But really, that's all I have today. But I do appreciate everybody being here. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Next, we have our finance committee. I don't think anyone's here for that. Freedom Fund Banquet. Oh, Mr. Javanick, do you have anything?
Okay. Yeah. Hi, this is Eric. I think you're talking Javano, hopefully. I don't know of any Javanix, but I'm sure there
I'm
was. Some in the
sorry.
fam-
I
I'm sure there
know
was some in the
another
family tree.
Javanick. I know some. I meant Javano.
Well, ironically enough, I think it's the same basic fundamental name. So probably someone, some Slovenians or Polish people in my background. But okay, as you may recall, there was an offer by Ms. Salerno to address the NAACP on the economic issues about the developing business. Unfortunately, I fell out of the loop because my wife's brother passed away, plus a lot of the state fair, a lot of stuff I do for the Democratic Party. So I don't know what progress has been made by that. But if it hasn't occurred, I'm sure the offer is still open. I will be getting back more active next week or so because the hurdles have been pretty much passed, with the passing away and other matters and state fair. So we can perhaps talk more about, expanding our role and going forward from there. I liked your idea of associating with the Business Chamber of Commerce, pardon me. I don't know if we are associated with the Mexican Chamber of Commerce, Latino Chamber. But I think those are a good reference source, and if I can help out, I will certainly do it. That's about it for right now. It looks like we're moving forward slowly but surely, but these are tough time with COVID. A lot of this becomes not really critical at this moment, but it's now the time to lay the foundation. Every journey starts with a first step.
Amen. Amen. Yes, Mr. Javano, I left that up to you. I did get the email, but I did not want to step on your toes. So I will continue to let you maneuver that.
Thank you. I will arrange it for our next meeting, or if she wants to address it especially, I will do that. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Let's see, who's next? Freedom Fund, Miss Helen Wiley.
I don't have anything to report. I think you covered it all earlier.
Oh, okay. Membership, Mr. Hinton. If Mr. Hinton, we did receive 3 new memberships, 1 renewal for the month of August. So I believe our totals are still close to 100, almost 100 or more in membership. And I know he was sending out all the reminders for September for those whose membership may be expiring. Let's see, political action. Is Ms. Poole on the line?
No, Ms. Poole had to get off the line.
Okay.
She had other engagement, but she did call me and just ask me to ask you to speak on a forum that's going to be in the city park on September the 14th.
Oh, okay. We will be having a ballot issue form September 30th at 6 p.m., which is on the agenda under announcements. We are partnering with the League of Women Voters of Pueblo for that forum, as well as a candidate forum October 14th at the PCC ballrooms A and B. And we have collaborated with other organizations that will be doing candidate forums throughout from now until, I guess, the election. So we will post all the forms that are going to be throughout the city on our website for your viewing, for your information. But the two forums that the NAACP will be sponsoring will be October 14th at 6 p.m. and September 30th at 6 p.m. We are also in communications with the Secretary of State, Gina Griswold, and possibly getting her to come down to do a presentation or town hall in reference to the Voting Rights Act and its importance and what Colorado is doing. So that is in the works for later this year. And I think that is all that I know that's going on with the Political Action Committee. As far as the Legal Redress Committee, we did have one referral this month in reference to a housing issue. And I know we were able to connect the person with appropriate organizations to help with the solution to that problem. So we're working with that also. Next, we have Religious Affairs. Is Reverend Brown on the line? Okay, if not, I believe that's all that we have. Did we have any unfinished business? I don't think we did. And the new business. So,
Madam Chair, can I
yes.
just ask, once we have more information about the Women's March, can it be put on the NAACP page?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'll let you know. And I do apologize for stepping out of line. I forgot.
Oh,
my
no
manners.
problem. No problem.
My dad would have said, "Hey, step back." But thank you for your kindness.
No problem at all. Okay. I know we did have a Kathy Javano. She had an announcement that she wanted to make. Is Kathy still on the line?
I am, yes.
Okay, there you go.
Just a real quick mention, the Pueblo Human Relations Commission is sponsoring a student art contest. And the winning entries will be placed on a 2022 calendar. And this is the inaugural launch of this project. And it's going to be every year. And it's going to be honoring Hispanic Heritage Month. And the national theme is Esperanza, celebrating Hispanic heritage and culture. We have sent out flyers and announcements to everyone, all the agencies across town, all the stakeholders who are involved in the Stakeholders Project. Roxana, you'll be getting a free copy next when they're published.
I believe we already put that flyer, that information on our website for people to review.
Right, and so we're taking student art entries, and the information's on the flyer. And if they want to submit their art entries, it's open to all students from grade school all the way to college.
Okay.
So we're excited about that.
Yeah.
And it's going to be really nice. And we're going to have some sponsors. And again, we're excited to see the entries as they come in. So I just wanted to mention that.
Well, thank you, Kathy. Thank you for that. Are there any other announcements? Any other announcements from anyone? Any other announcements? I know this has been a long meeting, but we normally don't have them this long, but because of our special presentation, which I thought was very good.
Madam President, could I
Yes,
just
sir.
get a clarification on, I had some technical difficulty getting in the meeting, but there's something happening at HRC on a Tuesday.
This coming Tuesday, HRC will be sponsoring a candidate forum.
Called the
I believe.
candidate.
The what?
Candidating.
Oh, okay.
Can you tell me location and time?
Yes, it's at the Parks and Recreational Building at the City Park, and it starts at promptly at 5:30.
Yeah.
5:30. Okay, this Tuesday.
Yeah, this Tuesday.
This
And
is-
mass will be required.
Okay.
Right. Oh, and I wanted to, the League of Women Voters wanted me to announce that they will be having a Constitution Day, September 16th at NeighborWorks at 5:30 p.m. The 16th is 2 days after, I guess, Wednesday. No, Thursday, next Thursday. Okay. Are there any other announcements? Going once?
Madam
Going
President,
twice? Yes, sir.
President, I see we have Ray Brown with us today, and Alan mentioned him working on a museum project, whatever. I'd like to give Ray an opportunity if he would like to share anything with us.
Yes, of course. Mr. Brown? I don't think are you on mute or is it not just, it's not working?
We can't hear you, Ray. We can't hear you.
It still can't, yeah, something's going wrong.
Okay, can you hear me now?
We can hear you and see you, yes.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, thank you very much. I had no intentions of talking today. Alan and I have had some conversations. There's a lot of things going on within the community that I'm interested in, and it was a pleasure to be a part of the NAACP meeting today. And so thank you very much for the invite. As far as the heritage, there has been several attempts to do displays at the Heritage Center. As a matter of fact, last year we attempted to do a Buffalo Soldier display, and unfortunately the COVID-19 thing got in the way, and actually no one was ever able to see that display. So of course we'll entertain going back at any time to do those displays. We still do have the Martin Luther King museum items, and those items, if we can work it out, we would love to be able to display those items as well at whatever museum wishes to entertain that idea. And also, you know, I was talking with a couple of other individuals, including Solange, who is on the council now, and we were thinking about coming up with an African-American museum for Pueblo. And so that's starting to go into play, and just wanted to let you guys know that we're looking for the NAACP's support in and putting together our own heritage museum and bring those things back to light again that have been kept in storage for a few years now.
Okay. Yes, please keep us abreast, and hopefully I can meet with you. I have some other issues, not issues, but some things I wanted to talk to you in reference. Okay. But thank you for being here this afternoon, and hopefully when you're not busy, I know you're really busy, but I'm still gonna get you to be a member. I'm still recruiting you, Mr. Brown. So don't forget that. Okay.
Stay on it, Madam President. Stay on it.
I am. He knows I'm on him. Is there anyone else that I need to, let's see.
I'm sorry. I just had to put my 2 cents in there. Ray, come on.
I do see Mr. Senna, Jesse Senna on. I will give him a chance to speak if he has anything. I know he's doing a lot of things in the community. Jesse?
Thank you, Madam President, for the opportunity.
Okay.
Greetings to every one of you, and thank you for all that you're doing in the community. A lot of great people in this meeting today. I want to mention that I plan on joining the NAACP. I was just on the website here just a little while ago taking a look at that, and so I'm excited about that, and I'm excited about the banquet coming up. That's always a great event. But I just want to say to each of you, thank you for all that you do for our community. You all are superheroes and such great leaders, and Pueblo's blessed to have you.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you. I never see you without your hat.
I apologize, I don't have my hat on. If
You
I could
ought
borrow,
to saw how Don looked up when you said that, Roxanne. Don looked straight up.
Yeah.
It's good to laugh. It's good to have fun too, even though I don't think there's anything else. Is there any other announcements? Any other acknowledgements that I missed? If not, we will have a prayer and adjourn our September meeting. Please keep the Freedom Fund Banquet on your forefront. Like I said, space is limited and they are filling up fast. So we look forward to all our members joining us at that event. So please get your payment in as soon as possible. Mr. Jones, if you can dismiss us, and then we will in a prayer, and then we will adjourn this meeting. Oh, one other thing, I don't know if I mentioned it, state conference meeting, September 25th, noon, via a Zoom. The pre-registration is required. The link we will have on the website. I would get in trouble if I forgot that. Okay, September 25th, noon. Okay, now I'll give the floor over to Mr. Jones. If he's still there. If not, Mr. Wiley, can you dismiss us?
Thank you, Madam President. Pastor Hurley, would you like to dismiss us with a prayer?
Pastor who?
Yes, I can do that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry, be happy.
Yes, okay.
Let's pray. God, you know our hearts. You are truth. You are present. May we read your heart, and may our hearts beat with you. We pray as we have been taught and as we seek to pray in love. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Everyone be safe and have a great weekend, and we will be talking soon.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.